Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another review of 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, Season 2, Episode 12, The Parent Trap. So we're starting off with Jihoon and Devin. So last week's episode ended where Jihoon had set down Drusilla. They were leaving the park, going back to the apartment, and it was nighttime because they were talking in the park for forever. And he puts down Drusilla because as he's holding her, she's getting really squirmy and restless, and the little girl is demanding to be put down. And so Jihoon puts her down, and as soon as he puts her down, the little girl bolts. And evidently she's running towards the street, and everyone's yelling for, Jihoon to catch her, and they're calling out her name. And someone, I guess it was Devin, who was like, Jihoon, get her, or something, yelling at him to go get Drusilla. And evidently Jihoon must have stopped, turned around to Devin, and yelled at Devin, don't yell at me, stop yelling at me. So they saw this, Devin and her mom saw this as he cared more about his pride being bruised than he did about getting Drusilla, saving Drusilla. So this is the reason why Devin and her mom Alicia are so angry with Jihoon for letting him, for putting down the little girl. The little girl was fine. She didn't get hit by a car. I can see why Alicia and Devin would have been like, what are you doing? Why are you more concerned about someone yelling at you than getting the little girl who's running into the night across, towards a street and could have gotten hit by a car? So his priorities were definitely messed up. But also, I can see how Jihoon would have been so frustrated that he lost focus for a split second on what was important, because he gets tired of constantly being belittled by Devin and her mom. Constantly being put down, constantly being berated and scolded. And for a split second, he was just done with it. And he just chose the wrong time to express his frustration at Devin for yelling at him. He really chose the wrong time. So he apologizes to Devin, and Devin is basically, she's like, look, if you want to be free and single, be free and single. You don't have to be in this relationship if you don't want to be in this relationship with me and have the responsibility of these kids. He tells her, no, I love you more than I love myself, and I want y'all to stay with me. And so Devin forgives him, and then Jihoon volunteers to apologize to Devin's mom, Alicia. So Alicia comes down. This is all in the same night. We're still in the night. Alicia comes down, and Jihoon tries to apologize to her, and Alicia is not, she's like not accepting it at all. She does not accept the apology. She's like, she's so dramatic. She made a good point about, taking care of her child and her grandchildren and how important they are to her. We get it. We understand that you love them very much. And I know your heart must have stopped for a split second when Jihoon stopped chasing Drusilla just to yell back at Devin. But the little girl is fine. So as he's trying to apologize, Alicia doesn't accept his apology, and she's like, I'm done with your words, and I'm done with your tears, because Jihoon starts crying. I'm done with your words. I'm done with your tears. I need to see action. If you really are trying to be, a good father and a good husband, I need to see it. I'm so sick and tired of you just flapping your gums about how you want to be better. Now, the thing that I have to say is this. I don't think that it's Alicia and Devin should not expect someone who is entering a ready-made family. He's entering a relationship with a woman who already has a little girl, who's had 3 or 4 years on him on raising a child, and expect those paternal instincts or those parental instincts to just turn on, especially for someone who's been very much of a kid himself. And they should allow him, I guess they feel like they've allowed him to make 1,000 mistakes, but they should allow him to make some mistakes. He's basically became a dad overnight when he decided to date Devin, and when she came to visit him for the first time with the little girl, he spent some time with her, but he's not with her every day. So they're not having this father-daughter bond that's building every single day. he cares for Drusilla. I'm pretty sure he loves Drusilla, but I don't think that those fatherly instincts are just going to kick in overnight. So I think they should cut him a little slack. Now, I do get how they're upset that every time he makes promises, he lets Devin down again. And he does need to step up to the plate. He does need to do more as an adult. Forget about just doing more as a father and a husband. Just as an adult, he does need to do more. He should have a good job for himself. He should have his own place, his own transportation. He should have all these things as a man should have at that age. So yeah, he has a lot of work to do, but they need to understand that he also kind of needs a little bit of time, I think, to learn how to be father of the year. So that's Jehoon and Devin. Let me see if I missed anything else about them. No. So in conclusion, Devin and Alicia have the right to be upset with him because he stopped chasing the little girl just to yell back at Devin because he felt belittled. He shouldn't have done that. He should have just, kept on trying to get the little girl to make sure that she was safe. That should have been his main priority. And they do need to kind of ease up a little bit on constantly putting him down. And his mom is also upset with it too. She's getting sick and tired of it because when Jehoon and Devin were talking about it and trying to make amends with it, the mother comes in and she sees her son crying and she wants to know what's going on. And Jehoon is like, no, Mom, I got this. Please leave us alone. So the mom is getting upset with that as well. But then again, this is a situation that happens when you get pregnant as soon as you meet someone. Now you got to deal with all of this nonsense. Devin should have just shoulda, woulda, coulda. The child is already here. They're already married. Doesn't really matter. But, Devin, you really didn't know this guy from a hole in the wall. You had his baby within, I don't know if it was like a month of meeting or days of meeting. She was pregnant already. And this is just a consequence of not really knowing the people that you lay down with. Okay, Ariella and Biniam. So, Biniam has a conversation with his family, and they tell him that they're worried because they don't know if Ariella is going to up and leave like his previous, I think, was that his wife? I don't know if that was his wife or his girlfriend. Like the previous relationship that he was in, where the American woman that he was with before, who had a child with him, just up and left and took the child with her, and he hadn't seen the child since. So they're worried about that. They're like, is this going to be a repeat of your past? And he's trying to convince them that there's no way Ariella would leave. I don't know about that. So the sister wants Biniam to be with an Ethiopian woman. The sister was very vocal about that, Biniam's sister. And Biniam said that he also would like for Ariella to accept the Ethiopian culture and religion. He wants her to basically become Christian and live this Ethiopian lifestyle. And Ariella has already said that she does not plan on converting from Judaism to anything else, and that she's going to raise her child as a Jew. So this is a conflict because Biniam wants his child raised Christian. They go to a church, him and Ariella, and before they go to the church, he buys her like a traditional Orthodox Christian attire, wrap, shawl, whatever it is, because before she enters the church, she has to be covered from head to toe. And so she comes in, they both walk into the church, and he talks to the church leader there and says that he wants his son baptized, but the mother is not an Orthodox Christian. The religious leader says that's not going to be possible because we cannot baptize a child whose mother is not baptized herself. So she has to be baptized, she has to be Christian before we can baptize your child. And he tells her this, and she's just not in agreement. She's not in agreement with it at all. And I don't know how they're going to resolve this. So that's where we are with Biniam and Ariella. He wants her to convert to Orthodox Christianity. She's saying, no, I'm not going to do that. She wants to keep her own religion. She wants to raise a child in her own religion. He wants to raise a child in his religion. Now, Biniam did say to her that he doesn't want to argue about religion. I don't really see Biniam as someone who's like an Orthodox Christian. I see how that is like, his faith. But I don't see him like really living that lifestyle. I mean, the way he was banging on his ex-girlfriend's buttocks as if they were a Congo drum and playing the piano on her thighs and stuff, I didn't see anything Orthodox Christian about that. But we'll see what happens with them. I just feel like he would be more willing to give up his faith and religion to accommodate hers, and to allow the child to be raised Jewish than the other way around. But the way he was banging on them butt cheeks, and I don't see anything Orthodox Christian about that. Kenneth and Armando. So at the engagement dinner, the proposal is over. We know that Armando said yes. So now him and Kenneth's daughters and friends, and they're all gathered at the restaurant for their engagement dinner. And there are two of Armando's friends there. It's a couple that live in America, but I guess Armando used to live in America, I think. I'm not sure. And they are there from Armando's side, his two friends. And the woman is the one that Armando had come out to a couple of years ago. He couldn't come out to his own family, so he came out to her. And so these are really good friends of his. And so when they're sitting at the table, they're talking about the inevitable day when Kenneth has to meet Armando's parents. And Kenneth wants Armando to tell them immediately that they are engaged. And Armando's like, pump your brakes. They're still trying to digest me being gay. And now they're trying to, get used to me living with the man and being with the man. And, I can't just dump this on them just like that. And Kenneth is kind of like, well, you're going to kind of have to. And so we're at the crossroads with that. We'll see how that goes. Brittany and Yazan. Brittany and Yazan is very exhausting to me. They're very exhausting because it's like we can't move forward with anything. Any kind of progress they may make, they go 10 steps back. So they're at the situation where they're going to meet with Yazan's parents so that the uncle can be the mediator between the parents and Yazan and Brittany, and convince the parents to give Yazan and Brittany more time before they actually have to get married. Now, Brittany, with her little manipulative self, wants the more time so she can try to hurry up and get her divorce. Yazan and his family do not know that she is still legally married to someone else and has to get that divorce done before she can marry Yazan. And it's a process that she hasn't even started yet. And the person that she's trying to divorce doesn't even live in the United States, because I think he was deported back to his country, which I think was Haiti, I think. So that's the reason why she's been fighting the whole marriage thing. But she's trying to make it seem like I'm fighting it because I'm just not used to your culture, your religion, and I need time. So this is what Yazan believes. This is what his uncle believes. And so this is what they bring forth to the parents, that, look, we understand that in this country, this boyfriend-girlfriend thing is not acceptable. But we need y'all to make an exception, because we need Brittany to learn more about the culture and the religion before she can fully, accept it. And what we don't want is for her to be forced into it quickly, just for it to fail later and they end up getting a divorce because she doesn't like it. So can they please have more time to get her accustomed to everything here? And then they'll get married, because once they get married, it's going to be for the rest of their lives. It's going to be permanent. So what is the use of rushing it when once it happens, it's going to be for forever? So let's give them time, and then we'll see where it goes, because maybe she's not going to like living here, and then she'll go back and he doesn't have to go through the whole, devastation of a divorce. So the parents are like, that's a good idea. They were able to convince mom and dad that this was a good idea. And so they've agreed to give them more time to get Brittany accustomed to the life there. And because the father said, I don't want to see my son divorced. So this is a small price to pay for, my son to have long-lasting happiness, whether it's with Brittany or not. Now, Brittany also apologizes to the parents as well for her rude behavior at her previous visit, for disrespecting them. She apologized. Everything is fine. So I just need Brittany to really take this seriously and not forget what they think is going on, that she needs time to get accustomed. So I need Brittany to give it her all, to really try and give it her all, so that if she really decides this is just not for her, it wouldn't be for the lack of her trying. And so while she's going to be trying to get used to this whole new lifestyle, she's going to also be trying to hurry up and get her divorce. Summit and Jenny. This is also, my patience is running very thin with Summit and Jenny. So Summit and Jenny are painting their house because they have to renovate it to make it livable, and not really livable, but just to make it more aesthetically pleasing. So they're painting the house inside. They're painting a wall, some really awful color, but I don't know. And they're talking about this, oh God, this rundown, tired, exhausting, borderline boring subject of having his parents accept his relationship with Jenny. So Summit says that he talked to his brother, and evidently his brother said that his parents were willing to talk to him about Jenny. So they kind of see this as a positive sign of them possibly accepting, I don't know accepting what. It seemed pretty clear to me that his parents were not gonna be budging on the Jenny thing at all. But I guess the more and more Summit and his brother, what's his name? Amit. The more and more these boys are wearing the parents down, I think the parents are beginning to slowly maybe kind of give in, maybe just to be left alone. So Summit says that his parents are ready to talk. Jenny agrees with me. Now this is basically a waste of time. They're not going to agree, to her. They're not going to accept her. They're not going to be accepting of him marrying her or any of that. So Jenny thinks it's a waste of time. So if you think it's a waste of time, what do you plan on doing? Because the lawyer already said that if the parents don't accept you, you can't get married. I don't think that part of his plan was just to live with Jenny out of wedlock in India. I don't know. So Jenny, if you think it's a waste of time, what are your plans? What do you want to do then? So I guess we have to wait and see what the parents say again for the 10th time. And that's basically the end of the review. This was sort of like, one of those filler episodes. Hopefully, to build up to something better next week. But I do thank you for taking the time to join me. Whether you like it or not, you gave me a chance, and I'll see you next week. Bye.